Trials of Mana.
Oh, welcome to a new Let's Play series that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the Trials of Mana Let's Play. I've already played this game, hence there's a new Game Plus feature, because I have finished the main story with Kevin as the protagonist. Because there are 6 protagonists in this game, and this, episode 0, is going to help me decide who to take on the next adventure. I have already decided the protagonist myself. So that's what I'm gonna do. Whoop. And I have prepared a special save. But that all doesn't matter right now. Gonna play on expert. Gain an ability to potentially quadruple the experience if we equip that. Or we're not. Gain an ability to get a bunch of bonus base attack, bonus hit points, and bonus magic. Because of the 3 characters that I used on the last run. But, very quickly then, Angela's gonna be the main character.
Angela, Princess of Altena.
She just introduced herself. She is a hardcore magic caster, does crap tons of damage, really frail, but hey, you know, she's the wizard. Now then, the first option for a companion, my favorite character, Kevin. Kevin is a werewolf and a monk. He beats people up, he pumps out loads of damage, he can potentially be made a healer, giving him some added utility, or just made to hit stuff even harder, with a couple of other neat tricks. His English is very bad, and that's intentional. I'm not entirely sure why they wrote his dialogue that way, considering that he isn't stupid or anything, but he does come across that way in this version, in the remake. Oh well. We have Charlotte. Charlotte is an adorable little girl who has kind of a speech disability, which, like Kevin, it's also can potentially be charming or grating. It's going to depend to you. Personally, I find it somewhat grating, but nothing too problematic. Charlotte is a cleric. Her physical stats are pretty meh, but she is a healer. She will always be a healer. She's in fact the only character who will always have access to healing, no matter how you build her. Yeah, she's a cute little half-elf girl, cleric, lady person. And the rule when taking Charlotte is always put her in companion slot 2. That way you get access to her earlier than you would normally to a second companion. I'll explain that some other time. Then we have Hawkeye. Hawkeye is mixed damage character, as you can see. Like, decent strength, decent intellect. Defenses are pretty bad, but he's very lucky, having access to better item drops, high crit rate, and lots of his special utility skills that have chances to trigger scale really well with his luck stat. So that's really nice. He is a thief of Navarre. He's kind of a Robin Hood type character. He's a thief with a heart of gold. Then there's Reese. Or Lisa. I still like the original fan translation where they called her Lisa. Reese is not a... I don't know. Anyway, she is the princess of the Amazons, and she is a solid all-rounder character who's pretty much good at everything, but not great at anything. And her unique thing is that she's pretty damn good as a buffer or debuffer. That's really her specialization. She, depending on if you level her up on the dark side or the light side, she will either buff your allies or debuff the enemies. And that's pretty neat. Then we have Duran. Duran is a beefy beat stick. Lots of health. Hits hard. And he can potentially be turned into a healer. But he's mostly just there to hit things. And to be quite sturdy. Him and Kevin are very comparable. Whilst Duran has more slow and steady hits, and Kevin pumps out the damage faster, but isn't quite as tanky. Which I think is actually a slight reversal of the original, where I remember Kevin being extremely tanky with crazy hit point gains. Oh well. So yeah. Oh, and a thing to note about Duran is Duran shares his main plot with Angela, because depending on your main character, that sets what the actual main plot of the game is going to be. Though, for the first 3/4 or so, it's roughly the same, and after that, like the final act is where you start seeing notable differences, complete with different final dungeon and different final boss, etc., etc. And Duran and Angela share theirs. Just like Kevin and Charlotte share theirs, and Hawkeye and Reese share theirs. And I have already completed one with Kevin as main character. But that also means on New Game Plus, he should, after the first time that we hit the promotion, he should have access to all his old costumes, if I do it all correctly. Anyway, yeah, that's it. This is going to be episode 0, and episode 0 is just about picking what characters are going with. And I'll see you once that has been decided. Bye-bye!